This is a scene from downtown Seoul this past weekend. Well, not just this past weekend, but for the past 5 consecutive weekends, and not limited to the nation's capital. Millions of Koreans have been coming together for weeks to make their voices heard, to make a difference, to bring about a change by lighting a candle in the darkness. Our news feature tonight by Kwon Jangho.
It's early afternoon in Seoul, and with a few hours left to go before the scheduled protest begins, people are already starting to gather in the November snow. Some have been waiting since the early morning.
I haven't even had breakfast yet, but my discomfort is not important. I'm just very frustrated with the government.
I came here because I wanted to show that we the people have our own thoughts and that we won't just be pushed around.
Those gathering here are calling for President Park Geun-hye to resign over involvement in the power abuse scandal. It's the 5th in a weekly series of protests, and I've come to Gwanghwamun Plaza in the heart of Seoul to gauge the atmosphere. I see young and old people alike, including these high school students who have collected money from their friends to buy candles and hand warmers to give out for free.
This might be taking time away from our studies, but we feel that being out here, experiencing democratic and public responsibility and action will help us in the future.
There are even a few foreigners out to experience the day's events.
In Germany, I'm not sure if people would do that, because people are just frustrated with politics and they think that they can't change anything anyways. But if this many people join, I think there's no way that this can continue the way it has been.
It's now 4 p.m. and the crowds have gathered here in earnest. The police have closed off the roads and the planned protest march is now starting. The event is well-mannered and jovial. Even among the chants calling for the president to resign, there's music, dancing and smiles. 근데 이렇게 북을 치고 하시는 음악을 하시는 이유가 그 어떤
For the Korean people, since olden days, the drum is an instrument that unites and gives strength to the people. We wanted to give that strength to the people here.
The recent protests have been noted not only for their peacefulness, but also their civility. Thanks to the help of volunteers and the protesters themselves, there's hardly any litter on the streets.
This is the new style of protest, whereas in the past it was always violent, and it makes me so happy. That's why I feel this is the least I can do to clean up and show people how well these protests are going.
Further ahead, we come across some police bus barricades. Since the 4th protest last week, a collection of flower stickers has appeared, transforming the barricades into something more appealing.
We wanted to make this wall a wall of flowers. We wanted to show that we're doing these protests with a beautiful heart.
지금 여기 2개 붙이셨잖아요. 네. 이거를 반만 붙이셨잖아요. 네. 이렇게 왜 반만 붙이셨는지 설명해 주세요. 뜨기 쉬우라고요. 근데 뜨기 쉬운 게 왜 중요한 거죠?
Because even the police are citizens. They're only here working because they have to fulfill their public duty. And after it's over, they're going to have to take all these stickers off. And we wanted to be considerate to them. They remind me of my own children.
As dusk falls, the protest march reaches its destination. I've now reached the front of the protest march, where we're just a few hundred meters away from the front gates of the Jangho presidential office. And the crowds here are making their voices heard through chanting and singing. Although the protesters and police come face to face at this barricade, both sides respect the limits they've been given by the law. In Korea's modern history, there have been many incidents where a face-off like this would have ended in violence, but there have been no such confrontations over the past 4 weeks.
I attended protests in 1988 when I was a student. But what's different is that people now bring their children and families. They can express their feelings freely in a variety of ways, and I think it's setting a new standard for protesting.
With the night comes the candlelight that has been the symbol of these events as the crowds return peacefully to Gwanghwamun Plaza to show their unity once more.
Darkness is normally associated with bad things, but by lighting candles one by one, it's become a bright light in the darkness, as you can see. I believe that's the meaning behind the candle.
At times, it feels more like a music festival. But with lyrics reflecting the current political situation, no one forgets why they're here.
The important thing is that we are making our voices heard. Whether we're singing or dancing, as long as the message is there and many people take part, then I think it's not a problem.
If these protests continue to stay peaceful, then all citizens, whether they're young or old, can participate. But if it turns violent, then participation will be limited to a few groups. The chance for the whole nation to join as one will become more difficult.
A second march towards the presidential office takes place, and the event continues long into the night. It's the largest rally yet, with organizers saying more than 1.5 million people joined throughout the day, while police estimate around 270,000. Week after week, the Korean public are coming out as one to have their voice heard, determined to bring about change in a truly democratic way. Kwon, Jangho, Arirang News.